There's a growing interest in meditation in the modern world, but from my experience, it's quite clear that many times the actual expectations don't correspond to the reality and the results that people get from the practice. This understanding came to me after many years of meeting people and trying to teach people, and even from my own practice and struggles to try to sustain a meditation practice. I came to this understanding because it was not that many people that I have met which actually had a long-standing meditation practice, a regular practice for years. Of course, there are many meditators in the world, but the the ratio between interest and people that actually sustain a practice was quite low. One of the reasons for that, on my view, is that a lot of times the expectations and then the practice targeting those expectations are too intense or are too high. People come with the promises of great stress release or feeling peace or eradicating the ego or enlightenment. And all that is, in a way or another, it's part of the environment of meditation, the traditions of meditation. But in general, they are not experiences that you're gonna stumble upon by doing a meditation for 5 or 10 minutes, following an app or a guided practice. So I would say that for meditation, it's better to start with very simple principles, which includes then simple expectations. And by nourishing those principles, which I'm gonna name three here, it will be much easier to actually see results, and then of course to develop further interest, to continue to practice, to develop the practice, and maybe then to get those big rewards that so many traditions of meditation promise. These three principles are more like challenges actually. Number one, which I consider is the first challenge you're going to encounter when you're trying to do really any form of meditation. On that sense, it doesn't matter so much the technique. These three experiences or challenges will always come. The first one is the challenge of body pain or body discomfort. It's quite unnatural for the body to remain in one position. Even if you think, for example, lying down, which of course in theory and practice it's a relaxing posture, after a certain amount of time, after a few minutes, you probably want to move certain parts of the body. That's why, for example, when you go to sleep, you don't just lie down and wake up on the same position. That's quite rare. In general, you move from side to side, even in an unconscious way. So the body is always trying to look for comfort by movement. So to remain still in one position is quite challenging. We normally choose the sitting position because it is the in-between between the effort of standing and the full relaxation of lying down. It allows for, with practice, with development, to be relaxed, but at the same time to have the sense of being active, of being awake. Now, the reason why the body is always in this constant movement is because actually there's a lot of discomfort in the body. And that's one of the first realities we encounter by meditation practice. We encounter the suffering and the pain and the discomfort of being, being with a body, of existing. And stillness will kind of, in a way, put a enhancing lens on that experience. So what normally you don't feel throughout the day or throughout normal living, now that you are still, you're going to experience it further, more, or even certain new discomforts that you're not aware of, they're going to now be clear to your conscious, to your awareness. So this first challenge is to learn how to accept the discomfort of the body, how to be with the body as it is. And I know that goes kind of maybe even against some ideas of meditation or finding peace or finding bliss, etc., because I'm talking about pain. But once more, if you enter with the wrong foot, with the wrong expectations, it's difficult to sustain a practice that give you the sense of being a lie or being false. So I would say it's better to enter with the foot of there will be discomfort, and I'm actually doing this practice in order to learn how to deal with the discomfort. First, through acceptance. So I'll take any sensation of my body as natural, and then the gradual relaxation of the mind and of the body will actually reduce the pain and discomfort that are experienced. So the two ways to deal with this challenge, in my experience, is first the sense of acceptance. You take any sensation, comfort and uncomfortable, as natural, as part of existence, And second is a very gradual training of capacity of discomfort. And that way, the strategy that I found useful is to differentiate between discomfort and pain. So discomfort is things that you can stay with. Let's say you're sitting and there's a little bit of tension on your shoulder. It might not be something you need to do something about. It's to a level that is okay to exist with it. Or maybe on the skin, you have some itching on the skin. It's not something that is going to kill you or cause harm or disease to you. It's just some itching. It's a natural experience. Now then you have the level of pain, which is something that you basically cannot distance your mind from. It sucks all the attention. The pain doesn't allow you to move your attention to anything else. It keeps shouting and screaming for you to look at it, for you to feel it, and then to do something about it. So my suggestion is, when you're sitting for meditation, be in a chair, be on the floor, if you experience anything that you consider as uncomfortable, try to stay with it. If that discomfort builds up to be pain, then you change the position, you do something about it. But what you might find is a lot of times when you do something to clear what we consider as painful, actually it was just uncomfortable. And with this realization, you start to be able to extend the periods of stillness, the periods that you stay in the same position. So it's kind of a gradual training of that capacity to accept, to deal with discomfort, and to recognize this change between discomfort to pain. If it's pain, of course, don't be a masochist. You don't have to suffer from meditation. Then you change the position, relax, move a little bit. But if you stay with this differentiation between discomfort and pain, you might notice that you can extend the practice further and further and further, up to a point that you might be able to stay 15, 20, 30 minutes, even 1 hour with that sense of stillness. But again, that doesn't mean the practitioner is not experiencing any discomfort. There might be discomforts which the person, it's present on the attention, on the psyche, but because it remains on that perspective of discomfort and of being natural, the practitioner doesn't feel impelled to do something about it. There's a deep sense of acceptance and consequent relaxation. Now that brings us to the second challenge, which is the challenge or the development of relaxation. It took me many years to understand that the most probably the primary quality for meditation is not exactly focus, but it's relaxation. Relaxation by itself allows presence to be established. When you are relaxed, there's a natural wanting to be there, to be with it, to be with the experience. So when you're at ease with that moment, with existence, with your body, with your mind, there will be no inclination for your focus to deviate too much. Pleasure, blissfulness, good experiences, they have a pulling effect because it's good. So actually relaxation is a great support for focus. It's almost like giving focus without the need of training attention, without the tension of attention. So this second challenge is the challenge to learn how to relax. I would say that on this front, it's actually better to do body things, body activities. For example, yoga or exercise, but ideally something like yoga or classical martial arts, because they have anyway that direction towards meditation. It's on the same school, let's say, the usage of the body and the development of meditation, they are on the same practice. So these traditional arts are good for that, but you're trying to learn how to relax the body and how to feel the body relaxed, so that by knowing how to and by knowing how it feels, you can stay with it. And the mind, because of its close connection to the body, will necessarily follow it. As the body relaxes, it will be inclined to feel more relaxed on the level of the mind as well. So my suggestion normally for students and even for myself was to learn how to feel relaxed by relaxing the body, and then noticing how the mind will sink into the body as the body relaxes. Then the third challenge is the challenge of focus, the challenge of the mind. It's the classic, maybe the most standard idea of meditation, of being placing your attention with something or within something. This training can be used again through the body, so doing activities of the body and paying attention to the body will be the classic mindfulness suggestion of training, even from the Buddhist times, of paying attention to the four postures of standing, sitting, lying down, and walking. So sustaining mindfulness throughout the day, 24/7, or mindfulness of eating, mindfulness of speech, mindfulness of hearing, and so on. So you're trying to, before the sitting moment, you're trying to develop this capacity of the mind, because in itself is really just a quality of the mind. Just like you can learn a language, just like you can learn how to do maths with your mind, you can also learn how to focus better. It's not necessarily something magical or out there. It's just a quality, it's just a capacity of the mind to be enhanced, so that you can do throughout the day. Especially the idea of mindfulness, to try to always have a sense of perceiving, of knowing the mind. Where is my mind? What thoughts are present? And once more, you can use the body for that. What's the sensation of the body? What is my body like? Where is the tension? Where is the relaxation? So this training of focus, I would say, has to be something done more than just a sitting moment. That sitting moment to be the the utmost training of that quality. Like at that moment, to be very clear if the mind is present, if the mind is stable or not. But you can do that by practicing throughout the day. To the development of these three qualities: the acceptance of body condition, the training of relaxation, relaxation of the body, relaxation of the heart in terms of feelings, relaxation of the mind, and then the capacity of the mind of attention to be with something for further and further prolonged periods of time. Then meditation will tend to unfold, and it will become a skill. It's something that you can do better and better, and to a certain extent it will stay with you. It's a little bit like an exercise. If you do it for long enough, it becomes part of your system. Even if you don't do it for a little bit of time, once you go back to it, you still have the coordination. So you can access it much faster than a beginner would. That's very helpful for meditation, because with time, not only you can do longer practices due to those three qualities, but also you can access deeper states of meditation faster. What normally would take 30 minutes, now because the qualities are already there, you just have to, let's say, press the push button for them to be on. In a shorter span of time, you can already be at a state, the desired state of meditation. So you can try these three qualities, or the development of these three qualities at home. If you have any doubt, please write in the comments, and I'll be happy to help and to answer you.